so much over the last couple of years especially, but it's so easy to run right into the park without just taking a moment to enjoy the ambiance, the magnitude of Spaceship Earth, the waterscape, crystal structure thing. It's a lot of fun. Also, I've had really good luck finding some great merch in the two gift stores right on the side. So they're really easy to walk past, but I have had some magical finds in there for sure. Another thing that you don't want to miss right when you first walk in is that I'm gonna say most times of the day there is a Fab 5 character right here in the front doing a meet and greet. I've seen the line for that be really long, but I've also seen the line for that be basically non-existent. So if you are a fur character fan, I feel like I usually see Minnie, Pluto, Daisy, never Donald. We'll get to that. And sometimes Goofy, but I don't think Mickey. I don't think Mickey. But if any of those characters speak to you, that would be a great opportunity before you even dive in to get your character meet and greet. I personally am a humongous fan of Spaceship Earth. I understand that baby needs a facelift real bad, but I would recommend doing this ride at some point during your EPCOT journey. If the line is more than 20 minutes, don't wait. Don't do it. But it is old school, classic, dark ride. Love it. It gives vintage Disney. And as much as I know that it needs a refurbishment, I am really glad that we did get to spend an extra couple of years with the way that the ride is set up now. It was supposed to go under construction, I think, in 2020, but obviously that didn't happen. But yeah, if you happen to catch it at a time, or you use, I don't know what they're called now, a lightning lane, a fast pass, a Genie Plus, whatever. If you want to use it on that, go for it. But a lot of times a day, the wait for that is so short. You should just do it. Just do it. Love it. I think that and Frozen are my favorite two rides in Epcot. So on this particular day, my husband and I walked into the park and went towards the right Coral Reef restaurant, which is a sleigh. I haven't been there in a few years, and I know that they've modified the menu a little bit, but the atmosphere, the ambiance, you're basically sitting in an aquarium. So cool. Such a vibe. And every time that I've eaten there in the past, the food has been excellent. So, again, I haven't tried their new menu, but it's been like a 9 out of 10 every single other time that I've gone there. So, if you're looking for a good place to eat, I would definitely check there. Directly across the way is the Moana Journey of Water. Now here's the tea. I'm not here about Moana. I'm not here about Moana. I'm here about Moana. I think it's a great story. The first movie was great. Not jonesing to see the second one, but the Journey of Water is definitely worth your time. Definitely worth your time. In my opinion, unless you're there with kids or someone who hasn't done it, it's a one and done. I think it's a great combination of learning and unique experiences with a little Disney magic and Disney IP mixed in, but definitely worth seeing. Don't need to do it. It's a nice to do. Nice to do. Of course, if you are a Moana stan, like my sister-in-law, do it over walking past the Finding Nemo ride, and you're going to go around a corner, and it looks like you shouldn't be going back there, or that it's an exit only. It's deceiving. It's deceiving, and it's not like labeled. It's kind of more of a you stumble upon this, or if you know, you know type thing. But I would absolutely, especially in the warmer months, head into this area, which is called the Living Seas Pavilion. The background music, the BGM for Living Seas, is a sleigh. It's one of my dog's favorites. We'll just leave that there. But as soon as you walk in through the doors, you'll see a little gift shop, little gift shop. And then on the first floor, you can do Turtle Talk with Crush, which I've never done, but that's like for little kids. And there are a bunch, it's two stories. There are a bunch of fish tanks, aquarium Palooza in there. It's interesting. It never gets old. It's motion sickness, but Soarin' is an EPCOT staple. If you can handle motion more than driving a car motion, you have to do it. So good. Classic, iconic, not even classic, but iconic. Absolutely do Soarin'. I almost said snorin'. Soarin'. Do Soarin'. Highly recommend. The other ride that I feel like up until a few years ago was kind of like a hidden gem, Living with the Land. Now, Living with the Land, if you have been on that ride, you're going to LOL, because that's my speed. That's my kind of ride. You're sitting, it's a slow moving boat ride on the water, and you learn about nature and the earth and the environments, and you get that Disney chlorine water smell. One of my all-time favorite things in life is outdoor theming indoors, and that's all that this ride is. Like, that's the number one bullet point on their resume. Outdoor theming indoors. I couldn't ask for more. I couldn't ask for more. You also go, when you go on that ride, you go into the greenhouse. Sick. Awesome. Love it. Can't get enough. Can't get enough. That ride is something that I will want to do most times. Again, the wait the day we went was outrageous. 40 minutes or something. Honey. Okay, I love it, but that's not a 40-minute wait. That's like, again, maximum 20-minute wait. Maximum 20-minute wait. Such a vibe. Fun fact, my brother dropped a pair of Ray-Bans in the water on that ride once. Scary. I will say that when it comes to eating, I think that EPCOT, for me, as someone with a gluten allergy, is one of my least favorite places, like my least favorite park to go to eat. There, and Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom's my least favorite, but we'll get to that. Yeah, here's the thing. I know that I'm here and the rest of the world is here because people go to EPCOT to eat. Disney is extremely allergy friendly. They accommodate, not like they go above and beyond, but for me personally, I'm a Magic Kingdom food girly. But there are a couple of hot spots for me personally that I like to eat, and probably my Caesar dressing. You ain't gonna like this. It's the thick, creamy Caesar, not the thin, not the fake Caesar. Don't give me, no. I want thick, white Caesar dressing. That's what I want, with the shaves of Parmesan. Love it. Love it. But 9 times out of 10, if I'm eating there, I'm getting, you're seeing a trend here, I'm getting the salmon, I'm getting me some green beans, and I'm getting the mashed potatoes. There is no mashed potato like a Disney mashed potato. Okay? Delicious. Very distinct. I've never had another mashed potato like it. And on this day, it hit. It hits every time. It never looks like it's gonna be enough food. I always get it, and then I'm like, shoot. And then by the time I finish it, I'm very full. I don't feel, well, I was gonna say guilty, but I don't really experience guilt with eating in Disney, because that's one place where I can go and do my big one, gluten-free. But yeah, it's not a meal that's gonna make you feel like you weigh 1,000 pounds and then go trudge around in the heat type thing. They also have now my husband gets the, pardon me if I'm mispronouncing this, the birria tacos. He likes those. On this particular day, he got the stir fry. I'll put in the description of what was in it. But he loves it. My brother gets the stir fry when he goes there. But if you're looking for like maybe some lighter fare or some healthier options that aren't a burger and fries, which you know I'm all about, I would definitely check there. Just make sure you check the hours. You know that I'm all about soaking up the environment, appreciating the flowers, the natures, the water. Do yourself a favor and make sure that you are not rushing through this park, because the landscaping, especially during Flower and Garden, is exceptionally beautiful. We happened to see a group of baby ducklings. Like, it would have been so easy to miss them, and I almost did. But just like Nikki Glitz's recommendation, slow your roll, take it all in, because it's so easy to just whip around World Showcase, but take it all in, because it's just, EPCOT is so beautiful. On that same note, now I personally don't go too ham on World Showcase. I can't eat a lot of the food. Food and Wine Festival, though, I feel like is a gluten-free paradise. Phenomenal. I also don't drink in EPCOT because, for me as a local, it's so expensive. Like, one drink is probably like $13 to $16. See what I'm saying? If you're on vacation and you want to drink around the world, knock yourself out, honey. But I have to pace myself with the Disney spending because I'm here all the time, you know what I'm saying? I say that because I've gotten that question before. What did you get to drink? I don't drink in the parks. It's just too much money. But I do have a couple of pavilions that always speak to me. The gardens in the UK pavilion. Honey, whoever is doing the arborism, whatever, the flowering, give them a raise. Give them a raise, sis. So good. So gorgeous. I feel like the flowers are constantly changing in this particular section. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I would also recommend taking your time or going multiple days and walking through each pavilion. I personally I often just blow past pavilions, but there is so much to see and do in each country that if you've never been, you would be doing yourself a I mean, it's Nintendo, Hello Kitty, a lot of kawaii stuff, Pokemon. It's a kawaii dream come true. I just kept taking videos of everything because everything is so cute. I'm not into Hello Kitty, I'm not into Pokemon, etc. But even me, someone who's lukewarm or neutral about these things, finds this merchandise practically irresistible. Practically irresistible. If I was 2% more into any of those things, done. Consider yourself warned. If you continue on through the gift store, you will find some reprieve. You go from the cutesy, cartoony, kawaii stuff into the more, I'm gonna say traditional. There's jewelry there, the fancier stuff. But be warned, right when you think you're out of the woods, you head into these snacks, drinks, and candy rooms. This is another scenario where having a food allergy is a blessing in disguise. I would have to go in there and do a haul video and try all of these snacks for you. Thank goodness. Thank goodness I can't, and thank goodness most of it is not in English, because if I knew it was gluten-free, everything is just so well displayed. I don't have to tell you, you're looking at it. Just to be warned, Japan is so fire, but you're gonna burn a hole right through your wallet in that one. The next pavilion that I would highly recommend that you go to is the America Pavilion. Not because it's super. Here's the reasons why. The food there at Regal Eagle is good, and they have a humongous bathroom that's always brick. It's freezing in there. There are a ton of stalls. There are bathrooms everywhere in EPCOT, but I feel like I have to do my due diligence as someone who drinks a gallon of water or more a day. I have to tell you where the good bathrooms are. America is certainly one of them. Leave it to America. But I would say most times, I find myself taking a break, ducking into Regal Eagle for air conditioning, some shade, filling up my water bottle, that kind of stuff. The food there, I have to be in the mood for Disney barbecue, because their barbecue sauces are not like a lot of other barbecues that I've had. It's not the best. It's like frozen pizza. It's not the best pizza, but when you're in the mood specifically for frozen pizza, you want that and nothing else will do. Do you see what I'm saying? That's how I feel about Regal Eagle. They have great gluten-free options. If you go there, get the pickles, the side of pickles, and then also try the baked beans. What baked beans with, was it pork? Something, I'll put it in. The best baked beans I've ever had in my life. Delicious, delicious, delicious. They do a lot of, instead of a bun for their burgers and sandwiches, they do thick, buttery, Texas toast for gluten-free babies like me. They do gluten-free bread, but they toast it and butter. Delicious, delicious. There's a lot of seating in there. Would highly recommend. When you're leaving, oh, and it's also themed to the Muppets. Slay. When you are leaving, when you're walking out of Regal Eagle, you're going to continue to go right. You might not think anything of this alleyway, but make sure that you keep your eyes peeled, because I don't know if this is officially what they're called, but my husband and I call them character paloozas. A lot of times when I think character one time I was there with my cousin, and we met, I think it was Minnie, Goofy, Pluto, and Daisy in under 10 minutes. Like, they just randomly pop out. And if you happen to walk by, go for it. I've seen Rafiki there. Like, I have seen, I think Captain Hook, like, just the most random characters, not at any scheduled times. But keep your eyes peeled, because you never know what you'll find there. It's so magical when it happens. The next pavilion that I would recommend, actually my husband and I both would recommend that you stop at, is the Germany Pavilion. I recommend it because they have an entire gift store that's themed to Christmas. The ornaments are always a sleigh. You know how I feel about Christmas. They have an entire Christmas tree decorated with ornament pickles. I mean, come on. But my husband is going to tell you to stop in Germany for the caramel desserts. I tried to take a screenshot of the display case. It's very packed in there. Very tiny, very packed, very busy all of the time. You can mobile order there. And if you're a cast member, you get a discount. You can mobile order there, and I would highly recommend that you do so, because I've never seen that place when it's not packed to the gills all the time. But the desserts are a sleigh. My husband, I will ask him what it is that he recommends there for the desserts, and I'll put it in on the bottom. It looks so good. It smells so good all of the time. If you like caramel, game over. Game over. If you have any money left after the Japan Pavilion, you're going to be spending it there. The next pavilion that my brother can't say enough good things about is the China Pavilion. I don't know what their allergy-friendly offerings are, if any, but if food allergies are not a concern for you, the quick service restaurant at China slay every time. My brother always comes. He always gets something from the China Pavilion, whether I think it's like the egg rolls or the spring rolls, whatever. He's always like, China's holding it down. This whole time, all these years, China is holding it down. Then across the way, on the Showcase Lagoon side, there is I think it's like a tea hut or something like that. I'm pretty sure you can get like boba or whatever. But there is a drink there that's one of my brother's all-time favorite Disney drinks. I'll put the name of it in here too. Those come 10 out of 10 recommended by my brother every time. Every time. The next pavilion that I would definitely recommend that you get a lightning lane for, if you can, is the Norway Pavilion. The bathrooms there, also stalls aplenty, very cold, all of the time. Consistently wonderful bathrooms, themed out. Obviously, Homegirl is gonna tell you to go on the Frozen Ever After ride if you can. That ride makes me emotional every time. I love Frozen. I love Frozen 2. I did used to love the Maelstrom ride. I respect it. So if you are a Maelstrom purist, I totally get it. I totally get it. But there's no denying that Frozen Ever After, she's the one. She is the one, girl. If you can't get on the ride, at least do yourself a favor and go into the gift stores, because the perfume there, I think it's called Lola. Don't ask me how I know that. I think it's Lola. It smells so good. It smells so good. They also have a room towards like the center of the pavilion. The center of the pavilion. That's all Frozen merchandise. Beware. For the big kids at heart, beware in there. My husband, actually while we were in there, my husband found this awesome mug. Like this one, I'm course, Honey was headed to Creation Shop. This is the main gift store at EPCOT. You didn't ask, but it's my channel. I prefer mouse gear. Oh, if you don't know, Mouse Gear is the name of the gift store that used to be there before Creations. There's nothing wrong with Creations other than other than the fact that it's not Mouse Gear. Either way, you're gonna find some really cute Epcot and Disney merch in there. If you experienced mouse gear, please let me know in the comments, because you understand. It was so magical. I can just picture it. That used to be, you know what it is? That used to be my favorite Disney gift store of all time. More than the Emporium in Magic Kingdom, more than World of Disney and Disney Springs. Like, it was Mouse Gear. That's where I would go and do all of my shopping when I was here on vacation. I digress. You're like, also, you don't need any Disney merch for the rest of your life. Agreed. My battery just died. Perfect timing. Friends, thank you so much for spending your time with me today, coming on this Disney journey, being so welcoming and receptive to Disney content. Disney content was like the number one thing that I wanted to do when I first started this channel, and it was like meh every time, but I feel like as the years have gone by, more and more Disney fans have started to appreciate the